Hey, this is B, and welcome to GANN George Bayer Connection. And what we're going to be seeing in this is not only did George Bayer and GANN use the same methods, they also wrote about the same two methods. Let's get started on this. Judah Torah was born June 16th, 1775, and passed on January 19th, 1854. He's still remembered around the New Orleans, Louisiana area, mostly for being a philanthropist. On another level, he's known for never having a losing cotton trade. Think about that. He's 100% accurate. Many think that W.D. Gann was an anomaly and that he simply got lucky, etc. Yet he was not the only one to produce the results that he did. He's the anomaly in that we both know of his trading record and the fact that he wrote his true methods in a book, The Tunnel Through the Air. George Bayer was a Gann contemporary who not only put out forecasts, which we will see in a minute, but also wrote extensively on trading and the Bible. Sound familiar? If it doesn't, you should read Gann's book, The Tunnel Through the Air. Both men, both subjects. George Bayer wrote 9 books which are still publicly available. Also, there is his previews and pre-previews, which contain his forecasts. George Bayer's books are A Treasure House, A Complete Course in Astrology, Turning Astrology to Practical Use, Time Factors in the Stock Market, Handbook of Trend Determination, Gold Nuggets for Stock and Commodity Traders, Bible Interpretation, Egg of Columbus, and George Woolston. If you're wondering how come you've never heard about the George Bayer W.D. Gann connection, and that both, and you're going to see this more developed in this video. But if you're wondering how come you really haven't heard about George Bayer, is because the Gann gurus out there, there's no money in selling George Bayer to you, okay? It's all about hype, okay? Because no one out there is really going to sell you W.D. Gann's system, and they're certainly not going to put it in a video, okay? So that's just crazy, okay? So what you need to do is take the time to learn the background that's behind all this stuff. That's really the only way to get ahead. I want to make a lot of money. Well, yeah, but you're going to have to put in a lot of time to do it. Okay, you reap what you sow. Okay, and I don't sell George Bayer's books, but you can go on the internet and get them from some other source. Okay, I think most of them are free on the internet. George Bayer's books have a different coding technique than Gann's, The Tunnel Through the Air. However, both men used the same 2 primary systems, and both men wrote about those same 2 systems. That's very important. Now, the writing style is different. If Bayer tells you absolutely do not do this, no way, it's important and you should do it. You should try it. If Gann tells you absolutely don't do it, don't do it. Okay? That's one of the differences between the two. Let's take a look at George Bayer's pre-previews. Now, in another video, I'm going to take a look at his accuracy of his forecast. I'm not going to really do that here. I just want to show you that both men wrote about the same stuff. They both forecasted market. Here's his month of September, 1935. Okay. And October 35, and then November 35. And then we seem to skip. I think we skip here. Yeah, February. Where's December and January? Okay. So there is some missing from this. Here, this is Bible Astrology in the Stock Market. Now, who else wrote about those 2 subjects? Well, think Tunnel Through the Air, in which are given some of the keys to the cyclical movements of shares and commodities by George Bayer. The researchers on which the following articles based have covered many years. Mr. Bayer approaches the subject of biblical astrology with a genius for mathematics. Who else had that? Who else wrote about mathematics in their book Tunnel Through the Air? And uses the fluctuations of the markets to check his conclusions, because principally these fluctuations are so definite and easy to follow against the background of the stars. In his personal practice as a market forecaster, Mr. Bayer has used this system of astrology with a steadily rising percentage of accuracy. His addresses, meaning his speeches on the subject at the recent All-American Astrological Convention in Chicago, made such an impression on other professional market forecasters that they literally compelled him to remain over and conduct a cram school in his methods. We feel genuinely happy to provide a medium through which the results of his long study can be published. The editor. So it was so important that these people at this astrological conference, after it was over, had him stay so that they could get in a cram session with him. They knew of its importance. Okay, he blew them away. Okay, the other day while looking through some of my books on pyramids, I noticed, okay, so let me do some scrolling here for you. Here is biblical astrology. Why is the circle or cycle larger than 360 degrees? Well, because it has a time factor. Who rules the earth, Mars or Sun? So as you can see, these definitely have correlation to W.D. GANN. Let me scroll some more for you. Here you go. For another illustration, let's turn to the book of Numbers. Tribe of Reuben, 43,730. So he adds up the tribes and it comes up to 601,730. Taking 360 degrees, that's about what he does is he takes 601 and he subtracts 360 from the figure. We obtain 242 degrees 13 minutes, which value is within minutes of being identical with that given in Ezra, noted above. It is to be noted also that the total given here is 601,730 is approximately the same as the lunar sidereal period in mean solar days of Neptune. Okay, that's very important. So wait a minute. Are you saying the Bible dudes knew about Neptune and how to add it up? Well, because Neptune wasn't discovered until the mid-1800s, so how could they have known? Well, George Bayer is going to explain that to you. This is what he's talking about, Ezra up here, which is a different calculation that gets to essentially the same thing. Let me scroll down some more for you. Lessons in biblical astrology. Neptune, during his passage through Virgo, has opened up an avenue of approach to the subject of astrology that seems to bring astrology into a much more precise and exact science through research work done on the Bible by Mr. Bayer for several years. He has agreed to offer to our readers a series of courses on biblical astrology. The lessons are sent weekly and begin with Genesis 1:1. Now, why do this? Well, people were hounding him about his methods, just like GANN. And so both of them, if you look at Tunnel Through the Air, both men are teaching you about Bible astrology. Remember the example we just saw in the video? Okay, both men are teaching you about Bible astrology. And why is that important? Is for background. I want to make a lot of money in stock market very quickly. Well, guess what? Nothing works like that. You reap what you sow. What you're going to have to do is put in the time and learn this background information, okay? The only people getting rich out there quick are suckers because it ain't happening. You see what I'm saying? Okay, let me scroll on some more. Here we have a George Bayer kind of an ad. Offers a weekly close-range analysis of stocks that are moving, wheat, cotton, and other commodities. $9 per month, 3 months for $25. Who else did that? W.D. GANN. Forecast for stocks, wheat, or cotton for the entire year of 37. Talking about an annual forecast. Time factor. Now this is interesting. Time factors in the stock market. A book giving you the lowdown on stock trading secrets. $20 per copy or manuscript, and that's of course over $100 today. Let me do some scrolling for you. Here we are in the July stock market forecast, and this is where he starts, and he continues this all the way through what's known as the previews. But he starts with the mapping these out like that. Okay. Like this. This is new in the July one of that year. And so stocks 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've seen my other video, which was on GANN's 1929 forecast, you'll know that he averages between 4 and 6 turns per month. Well, this is exactly what Mr. Bayer is doing. And down here, see how this is kind of like the stock market. This is different. I think he's using a different technique here. Either that or the turns are just so small. I can't figure out why his lines look different here. He's got a low August 1 and goes up to August 25th and then down. It could have been, and there's only 3 turns here, so it could have been that there's 2 turns, like 1 turn here and 1 turn here where there's a little bit of a sideways market, and that's why he's up. But I think he's just, and I looked earlier through this, and this line, this wavy line, he uses it down further. So it's like he's confused on what method to put in here. Okay, but as you can see, monthly forecasts, and in the next video, which I'm going to cut here today in a little bit, we're going to take a look at these and see how accurate he was in his forecasts. If you have gained insight from my video, subscribe so you can get the latest on my free market calls, forecast, commentary, and teachings. Knowledge is priceless. Hey, this is BA reminding you, you can succeed. Take care. Bye-bye.